So before I actually get into the Ask Laurel thread, I wanted to share some wisdom among the advertising experts in the industry. And, this is all information that, I get from hanging out with some of the best in the industry. And one of the common questions is, the type of traffic that you're actually getting on your ads. Some people complain that, hey, people who are not my ideal clients are commenting on my ads. I get people who are not able to afford my program. They're not able to afford my product. Like, how do I tap into a higher quality type of person? Okay. Now, one of the things that I want to direct you to is this training right here. It's in the Lanyap section underneath the workshop vault. I did a workshop that literally walks you through the 3 metrics that you need to consistently hit with your ads in order to tap into Facebook's highest quality traffic. Because if you find that your traffic is low quality, it's one of 2 things. One, Facebook is because here's how it works, okay? Let's just break it down. Whenever you place your first ad, Facebook is testing it with its highest tier audience, okay? Now, if that highest tier audience isn't engaging with your ad, meaning your hook isn't right, your content sucks, Facebook is going to keep knocking it down to lower and lower quality traffic. And if you release a whole bunch of ads that are low quality, Facebook is going to continue to feed you low quality traffic. And so we have to make sure that with every ad that we're putting out there, we're putting our best foot forward. Is our hook clear? Are we dog whistling our ideal clients? If a whole bunch of people are skipping over our ads, clicking to watch the video, but then not continuing to watch the video, Facebook's going to learn that people do not like our content. And so it is not going to waste its best traffic on your content. And this is why I have all of these really in-depth videos. And I know a lot of you guys complain that my videos are so long, but these are all nuances that a lot of other courses aren't teaching you guys. Facebook wants to put the best quality content in front of its best quality traffic. People are paying a lot of money in ads to ensure that they're getting the highest quality traffic. And so that's why I teach you guys all of these ways in order to create content. Now, if you are attracting people who cannot afford your services or programs, it has very little to do with the actual price, okay? There are 2 reasons why. I'll actually create a new doc here, okay? Doc.new, okay? There are 2 reasons why people don't buy, okay? One is they don't believe it works, okay? Now, here's something right here that could easily be solved with case studies, testimonials, and all of that stuff, right? The second reason is really hard. They don't have the certainty that it will work for them, okay? This is a huge one, okay? Now, if you go into the program and you go to Organic Foundations, this is the most in-depth that I have ever went on my content creation process. Now, this is going to solve this, right? There's a lot of people in the marketing industry that are getting by with just putting out testimonials and case studies, but a lot of times people aren't moving forward because they don't have certainty that it will actually work for them. The way that we give them certainty that it will work for them is by making them feel like we understand them at a deeper level. Okay, I'll give you an example because I hear this all the time, and this is something that Vince Reed actually, had me have this revelation, because he's like, Laurel, he's like, people say that they don't have money all the time, but that's rarely the issue. He's like, I'll give you an example. He's like, it's an extreme example, but think about this. Let's say you're laying in a hospital bed and the doctor comes to you and says, hey, you only have 7 days to live, but I have this medication that is proven to work 90% of the time, but unfortunately, it's $90,000. Don't you think that if I believed with certainty, right, that that medication would save my life in the next 7 days, I'm going to freaking find $90,000 somewhere? Now, of course, that is a very extreme example, but I will say this. Most of your leads who are telling you that they don't have the money, they are buying from someone else who is giving them the certainty that what you're selling will work for them. Okay? Here's the deal. Other people are closing your leads. And so in this program, yes, the videos are long, but there are so many nuances that you guys are missing, and it is solving these two problems right here. Okay? So if you learn how to create content that is going to, one, make people believe that your method works, or two, give them the certainty that it will work. This is done by actually having conversations with your audience. A lot of you guys are too scared to do that, and that's why you're not moving forward. Now, if you're worried about the type of traffic that Facebook is feeding you, well, then you need to go into the workshop vault and dig into learning about the metrics that you need to ensure your content is hitting. Otherwise, Facebook is going to continue to feed you junk traffic. Okay, Facebook is giving you what you're putting out. You know, I know that's a hard pill for some of you guys to swallow, but that's just the way it is, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and dig into the Ask Laurel thread, but before that, I just want to make sure that everyone saw that on Monday, we are doing a coffee chat. So if you are unclear on how to move forward in the program, or if you're unclear on, you know, what's wrong with your ads, what's wrong with your content, Monday, I'll be on Zoom with my coffee, and make sure you read the rules because there are rules to attend this. And yeah, just make sure you're checking the featured section. You can see here every single week in the featured section, I'm posting all of the new stuff that's going on in the program. Everything that you need to know is going to be in the featured section. So make sure you're checking that once or twice a week. So we're going to go ahead and dig into the Ask Laurel thread and make sure that you are reading the rules for the Ask Laurel thread. Okay, my team does not have time to explain what rules you're breaking. They are just deleting posts because I need them to do other things. I don't need them going back and forth. A lot of people ask me, Laurel, what time is this on Saturday? Again, it says here, no set time on Saturday. So make sure that you just take 2 minutes and read the rules, okay? Now, let's go ahead and dig into the good stuff. So Andreas says, if I haven't gotten any data yet from Facebook ads for a successful avatar that I want, should I go broad audience or be more specific? Since I heard the optimization on Facebook audience targeting, should we trust them to run it for us starting from the beginning? Well, in the beginning, whenever you don't have a lot of data, I recommend going as tight in your targeting as possible, right? Because you want to be able to ensure that you're reaching the right person. If you're not sure on which avatar is right for you, you might want to put out 3 different offers to 3 different avatars and target them very narrow. That's going to give you the high, because if you go broad with a broad messaging, that's just going to lead to a whole bunch of quality traffic, like bad quality traffic. So in the beginning, when we're trying to test different messaging with different audiences, we want to go as tight with that messaging and tight with that targeting as possible. Stacy says, hey, I just got on with you and working on my power offer. I did Joel's training. Awesome, Stacy. Great to have you. So far, I have the who I'm talking to. If you could let me know if I'm clear enough, or should I keep working on it? Appreciate it. By the way, your course is on point. Thank you so much, Stacy. That made my day. So she says who she's targeting: LPNs, LVNs, and RNs who are ready to quit bedside nursing but need to be educated on potential opportunities to replace their current income. I love this. One of the things, like, this is so on point, right? Like, she didn't go like broad into the medical field. She's like talking to, you know, specifically nurses. I think you're on the right track, Stacy. Let's see. Harry says, hey, Laurel, in the offer ad section lead generation, you have a beautiful calculator. Thank you. Since I'm not doing lead generation right now, but I'm doing the power content to messenger strategy, I have created a similar calculator with a lot of assumptions because this is my first rodeo. Can you please give me feedback on the assumptions, the percentage of conversations from 25% video views to messenger conversations to sales calls to purchases? Thank you so much. This is freaking awesome. I love, Harry, that you figured out a way to actually have a solvable problem. Now, we don't know how this is going to turn out, but I love how Harry just sat down and was like, you know what? My offer's £1,000 or 1,000, whatever this little signal is. He's like, projected monthly ad spend 500. He's like, well, if I'm getting I'll just say dollar just for the sake of this, $1 per 25% video view, then I should spend $500 to get 25, people watching the video views. Well, not necessarily, right? Because you can spend $500 and not necessarily get 500 people to watch 25% of the time. But if your videos are on point, you can guesstimate that you might get $500, 500 viewers for 500. So just keep that in mind, right? Just because you spend $500 doesn't mean that you're going to get this 25% views at that cost. But hey, this is a solvable problem. And after Harry has spent $500, he will have the exact metrics here. And so that's what I mean by a solvable problem. I love this, Harry. I think you should run this for the next month and see how these actual numbers work out. But you are definitely on the right track. So here's what he did, right? He's like, well, if I spend $500, I'm hoping that I could get 500 people to watch 25%. He's like, well, if I can get 10% of those people to ask for my value bomb, that leaves me with 50 messenger conversations. If I can move 10% of those to a sales call and close 20%, I might have a single purchase. I love this. Everyone should be doing that solvable problem. Harry, that is amazing. You are right on. You're right on. I can't wait to see how that works out. Michelle says, I'm watching the Messenger Mastery section of the program. I love the prolific content suggestions for messenger conversations. I use that for TikTok where 90% of my audience is. I ask the specific questions before sending my freebie if it applies to them. If I use the direct approach, is it okay to lead them to my webinar masterclass versus individual calls since TikTok doesn't allow me to send personalized links to Looms, only existing content? I currently send prolific content since most things they ask I have already answers to via videos. Absolutely, right? I've given you guys a whole bunch of frameworks on how to do that two-step method, and don't get caught up in the form over function, right? We want to, if this works, absolutely do it, right? And when I say people focus on, sometimes form over function, it's equivalent to, let's say, as I'm doing this live, my mouse, comes unscrewed, like the back comes unscrewed, and I'm like, oh crap, I don't have anything to screw it back. I'm gonna walk down to the hardware store, right, and go grab a screwdriver, when really I could have just walked 10 feet into my office kitchen and grabbed a butter knife and poked this mouse screw right back into place, right? People who focus on form over function would have walked to the hardware store. I like to focus on function over form. I'm okay using that butter knife, right? And so don't think that you guys have to use all of everything that I say that I'm using. I just want you guys to understand the pathway to getting everything that we want is through having direct conversations. And so Michelle, in her case, is getting conversations on TikTok, and it is working for her just fine. So Michelle, absolutely. Matt says, testing some new milestone content for myself. Hold rate on both is 38, 39%, even for longer videos, but hook is 8 to 11%. Now, I'm wondering, do you mean this is the hook rate and this is the hold rate? Because if your hold rate's 38%, that means you need to work on your hook, right? But I'm assuming because this is really close to the hook rate and this is really close to the hold rate. So I'm wondering if you have these switched. But anyway, I'll answer your question. My question is, what do you see as the first steps to go in increasing the hook rate? Attention grabbing first line. Yes, the hook rate is not only that first line, but it's also what does your video look like? Do you have the hook on the video? Because remember, the creative is the very first thing that people see. And so if your hook rate is not where it needs to be, then we might need to change up the way that people are viewing our video. Like we might want to bump up the contrast on it. We might want to put some tighter, some bigger writing on it. But yeah, it's definitely, remember, anything that gets people's attention to stop the scroll, that is what the hook rate is actually measuring. Let's see, Kesha says, I'm working on the organic marketing strategy and I'm trying to go live every day for 105 days, which is a strategy you mentioned to find our solvable problem, which is my goal. But it's going slower than molasses and it's super discouraging. Yep. Remember, I told you guys, like people didn't start commenting on my stuff until I was almost 100 days into this. It is slower than molasses. That's why I give you guys the ad strategy, right? If you go here under the organic foundations, there's a masterclass on how to turbocharge the organic strategy using $5 ads right here. But I'll continue reading. Let's just see. I'm down to about 20 views per video after about a month, 0 to 1 comments. I go live on Facebook, personal page and free group right now because Instagram and TikTok are vertical video only and OneStream doesn't work yet. However, in your how to move freebie members into paying members, you mentioned that the more content we throw at people, the overwhelmed and stuck we are. So I want to make sure that Kesha and everyone who is reading this is clear. This is for Facebook groups. I do not recommend that people just throw new content into Facebook groups. That is for your profile and your ungated content, right? Facebook group content is gated. We do not want to. So I just want to make sure that you understand this is for Facebook groups. What you're doing here is on your page. Okay. So she says, I don't have the money needed to find my solvable problem with ads just yet. I could do maybe $100 a month. If you only have $100 a month, that's cool. You could do $2 a day per video, right? That's fine. $2 a day per video, that's $60. You could actually do $3 a day per video, right? Use whatever, right? $3, throw $3 in that on your business page. That'll work. One thing that struck me was what you said, you built your audience when you started your organic marketing. Is that what I'm missing? And should I continue going live every day, take the $100 and try ads? Yes. So whenever I did, if you guys go back into this, I talk about how to actually set up your profile so that you can engage in like Facebook groups and all that. But guys, it's slow. This $100 in ad spend a month will get you more traction than hanging out in groups and all of that fun stuff. Let's see. Cindy says, hey, Laurel, I'm looking for help defining my solvable problem. Good. I'm loving all of the solvable problem things today. I just watched day 1 of the 7-day organic marketing sprint. I'm a parent coach and I don't have a super clear offer yet, but you said we could get started without a clear offer, right? Well, as long as you are building up your audience, absolutely. You can build an audience and figure out your offer through conversations. That's what I did, right? I just started going live and teaching people how to do Facebook ads. And then by talking with people, they were like, hey, can you do them for me? Can you teach me how to do it? That's how I came up with all my offers, was by just putting out content and talking to my ideal clients. She says, I've launched a 3-month coaching program over a year ago and then abandoned it due to cash flow problems and went back to a full-time job. Hey, there's no shame in that. Here's what I do. I help parents who have young children with ADHD parent more effectively in a way that works with their child neurodivergent brain, dealing with meltdowns, getting their kids to listen to them. What I've done is, before I went back to my job, I grew an email list of around 400 people. I have an Instagram following of 500 and a Facebook group of 264. I have not touched the email list or Facebook group for a little over a year, posting sporadically on Instagram. So one of the quick wins that you could actually do is send an email. It's called the 9-word email. And all you need to do is, if these are your ideal clients, you could literally just send, it's called the 9-word email, and just have the subject line, hey, and then in the email say, are you still looking for help, with, do you still need help with your child who's got ADHD or something like that, right? Do you need help? It's very simple. It's just 9 words and then question mark, and then just send it out. I am guaranteeing that that would probably get a small percentage, probably 5% of people will say, hit reply, and then you'll have a couple dozen people to have a conversation with. So that's a quick win that you have right there. That's a solvable problem. If I send one email, a 9-word email to 400 people, What's my open rate going to be? How many people are going to open the email? How many people are going to reply? How many of those people can I get onto a phone call? So that's one of your first solvable problems, right? And then you say the delivery of my program is a group coaching format. Previously, I sold it for $9.97 for 3 months. Is this my solvable problem? So your first solvable problem is if I send an email, how many people will open it? 2, how many people will respond? The second solvable problem is how many messenger conversations can you turn into discovery calls? Yeah, if I were you, I would follow this right here, messenger mastery. I would have 100 conversations with people through content and see what that solvable problem turns into. So you have two things, right? Send an email and start this 100 messenger conversations. Man, you guys have really great questions this week. Let's see. Contreras says, hey, Laurel, new to the group. Hey, well, welcome. We are super happy that you're here. Enjoying your course, trying to nail down my power offer, and had a hard time seeing any examples for simple service-based businesses like mine. Junk removal and hauling services. Awesome. That's easy. Like, guys, service-based businesses are so much easier. You don't have to convince someone that they need to haul junk or why they need to haul junk, right? Like, remember, it goes back to this, right? 2 reasons people don't buy. They don't believe it works. They don't have the certainty that it will work for them. You guys don't, in like local service-based business like this, like it's so cut and dry that you don't need to convince people, right? So let's take a look at the power offer. Let's see, homeowners needing junk removal and hauling services who are frustrated with contractors and services being, I don't even think you need that are frustrated. I honestly think, homeowners that need junk removal and hauling services. If we removed your junk from your home in the next 24 hours that was done professionally and can be completed in as little as 30 minutes, message us, right? That's how I would do it. Super, super simple, right? If you homeowners who need junk removed or something hauled off, if in the next 24 hours, I would send my team who would do it in less than 30 minutes, without you having to do anything, click the link and let's get you booked in. I think you could even go simpler with this, right? So good. But yeah, that's what I'm saying, guys. Service-based business owners have it so freaking easy. But yeah, I would make those modifications and let's start sending that ad. Let's see, Elle says, hey, Laurel, what should the ratio of power content with value bombs be? For example, if I do power content video every week, we have more than 15 power content videos. How often should I be using the value bomb as part of it? It seems like creating or adding a new value bomb every week is a little much. No, you can use the same value bomb for all your power content videos. Guys, what constitutes power content is the secret sauce, which is the value bomb. So you can literally have one value bomb for all 15 pieces of content. You don't have to create one separate value bomb for each separate video. I use the same value bomb over and over and over again. Like when I first started, my very first value bomb was how to place a Facebook ad for $5 a day, a video ad. And I use that for all 15 pieces of my content. Let's see, Reneth says, I hope I said your name right. Okay, so I watched day 1 of the 7-day organic market. I love that all of you guys are watching the organic marketing sprint. I freaking love it. To me, that is the foundation of this entire program. And I still have a problem defining my solvable problem. I run a digital business. I help people to start their digital business pretty much like this. I joined the online business and I want more people to join the same business. This is how, so it looks like you either in an affiliate marketing or MLM. This is how I grow and make money by having more people joining the business, but I'm having a hard time getting people to join. We have a free webinar that we join. We charge if they decide. I don't want to move to day 2 until we get this one situated. So your first solvable problem is literally going to be getting your first messenger conversations. That's it. Like your first messenger conversation. So it's going to be how many pieces of content do I have to put? Now here's the thing, right? If you read this, right, you're having issues getting people to join. Well, here's the reason, right? 2 reasons people are not moving forward. 1, they don't believe it works. So you have to create content that shows people what that opportunity looks like and give them certainty that it will work for them. That's the thing. And so I would say move forward, but create your first solvable problem based on what you need to start testing your content. That's going to be the first thing is testing out the content. Which content pieces are working? How do you get 100 messenger conversations? And so if I were you, I would start under messenger mastery. That's where I would start in the program. Let's see. Lisa says, I've spent a week going through the power content training. I've completed all 3 missions and I grabbed the 90-day video marketing system. I may have thoroughly confused yourself. Okay. I have a lot of video content that already exists, but I'd say it's more for the retargeting middle of funnel area. I adore the power content idea and have already launched my first ad. Wow, what a freaking go-getter. Love that. Where I'm struggling is which mission do I follow when my ultimate goal is to bring people into my $49 a month coaching program. I want 200 members and I have a churn rate of approximately 10%. I've had over 130 members in there since I opened the doors in March. I currently have 85. For clarity, I do, although I'm looking to close it, have a $9 low-cost membership that I was running conversion ads to that had an upsell into the $49 membership, but I turned those ads off for the $9 membership over 3 months because the funnel wasn't converting like it used to. I went from 10 purchases a day with a 20% conversion rate to the upsell to 1 to 2 purchases a day, still a 20% conversion on your upsell. I knew that with so much content, I could convert people once on my email list. I keep fluctuating between these mission documents. I would do the low ticket offer funnel, but does this work if I simply, yes, you can do that. You could do the lead generation. You could do lead gen and rely on your email to sell this. So I would make a couple of decisions here, right? Because if you follow you could do a couple of things, right? You can continue to follow the messenger mastery, have messenger conversations, and dump people into this membership. That's actually how I sold the $7 program over 400 times, was legit, like this messenger mastery right here. And I still did this while I was testing ads going straight to my $7 program. So you can continue to have conversations through content, right? That's going to be the low risk, low dollar strategy. It'll cost you some time, but you could also do lead generation that gets them into the $49 a month too. So you could build your list, and because you said you're pretty confident in your content, so you literally could use your content in 2 different ways, right? You can continue to do it organically through the messenger mastery, or you can also at the same time use ads to build a list of about 500 people and see how many of those 500 people, that'll be your next solvable problem, right? How many of those 500, so let's break this down, right? So she has 2 options, right? So solvable problem number 1 is content to comments to messenger to sale, right? So that's solvable problem number 1. What type of content do I need to post that's going to get X amount of comments that's going to move people to messenger and actually get a sale, right? So this is the low risk but high time, right? Trade-off. Let me undo that. Solvable problem number 2, right, will be add to leads to upsells, right? So the solvable problem is what's going to be her cost per lead, right? And then what percentage of leads buy. And I would send goal, I would aim to get 500 leads in order to calculate this solvable problem. And with this solvable problem goal, I would do 100 messenger conversations. So these are the 2 options, right? But this right here is going to be high risk, right? Because you don't know and you're losing money, but it's going to be low time, right? So you see that? So this is going to be low risk, high time. This is going to be high risk, low time because you're spending money. So she might decide to do this first, but she might decide to do these simultaneously, which that wouldn't be a bad thing. So 2 options, man, we're getting some really cool things going on today in this call. Let's see. Braun says, hey, Laurel, long-time lurker. That's okay. First-time implementer. I've watched your first few trainings in Joel Irway's Power Offer Workshop, hoping you can review my Power Offer draft. Absolutely. Let's see. Parents of neurodivergent tweens and teens dealing with problem behaviors. If I offer to show you how to swap the headache of constant conflict with your quickly growing kids for more connection. Okay, so a lot of broad terms here, right? So here's your context, right? I'm an Asperger's ADHD complex trauma specialist with 3 autistic teams. That's awesome. Like, you need to say more of this, right? So right here, parents of neurodivergent, I would, instead of saying parents of these kinds of teens, I would actually call out the specific problems. Most teen, a certain percentage of teens are diagnosed with Asperger's or ADHD, right? And even a smaller percent of them get help for what is that problem, right? And then actually write it, whatever it is that you offer, right? Because this is a lot of vague language, right? Swap the headache of constant conflict, right? That's not broad, like that's very broad and vague. We want to go specific. Like, what specific problem, like, are the temper tantrums of going to school or all of those things. So we need more direct, because here's the thing. Remember, we only get a short amount of their attention in the news feed. And so, like, if you say a statistic about, Asperger's or ADHD, that's going to automatically grab that parent's attention. You get what I'm saying? So we need to be even more clear in this offer. Let's see. Daniel says, hey, Laurel, hope you're well. After you've had your power offer validated by having it generate a booked appointment, what do you do? So your power offer isn't validated after getting a booked appointment. Your power offer is validated after you have sold it 2 or 3 times. So I'm assuming you experiment with other creatives. Power offer, yeah, you need calls, right? So we say, do the KPIs still remain the same to generate a book appointment, or do I look at clicks and performance? I feel like I need to continue to have conversations via Messenger before having my offer. Yes, you do not, like I always tell people, make your first 10K in Messenger, right? That's the best way. And if you have a high ticket offer, that's only gonna be 2 to 3 sales, right? Before moving anywhere. So you're not validated just because you've booked an appointment. You're not validated until you've actually sold 2 to 3 of your offer. Let's see, Mandy says, maybe off topic, I have a client who wants ads to promote her podcast. Her podcast generates buyer traffic, but this is a pure climb the charts play. I've covered the creative side, but question, do we use the same metrics to determine if the ad is working, 3% or CTRL? No, because likely you're using traffic, and traffic is optimized to get clicks, but it's also optimized to get kind of cheap clicks too. So those KPIs would not apply. One of the things that I run a client's traffic to her podcast, and what I look at is how many podcast downloads are they actually getting, right? Because the podcast episodes that you're running ads to should have a higher download rate than any of the other ones. And so that's how I know if my ads are actually working. Let's see, Kristen says, hey, I'm going to try my question again from last week, but with more context. Awesome. I love that. I do collaborative list building events like online giveaways and bundles. Our Get Clients Now bundle has a VIP upgrade for $47 where you get 30 plus products. Awesome. I'd like to run ads for the VIP part of the bundle. It has its own sales page that converts at 3%. I have 1 week left to do this because the products disappear on October 7th. Cool. That is a natural deadline. That's urgency. I'm thinking of running a power offer ad to get Messenger conversations. I know I could run ads to the sales page, but I think talking to people in Messenger will increase the conversion rate of people buying it. Is this what you would recommend? So if you want to go the Messenger route, I would go into Messenger Mastery and I would put out a whole bunch of, as a matter of fact, I'd probably do all 7 of these reels. And if you are sure that conversations are going to lead to sales, this is what I would do. If you don't want to actually run ads. There's 2 options, right? You could run ads straight to the offer, right? Which you would use in the low ticket offer. There's all of the ads if you go here, right? All of my favorite scripts. Or if you want to run Messenger ads, which I recommend also, I would do the conversion multipliers. So I would literally do all of this. I would do both, obviously, since you only have a week. I would do both. Let's see, Patrick says, could you expand on your thoughts of running everything from a branded company page versus running from a personal branded page? It seems more people are guarded when dealing with a company or agency versus an individual person. I would absolutely agree with this. I run a website design and marketing agency called Kickstart Local. Do you think it would be better to run content and ads from a Kickstart Local branded page with company branding, or instead have a page called Patrick Malone Kickstart Local and have it look more professional with a photo? This is if you want my 2 cents, this is what I would do. And this is what I get all of my fitness experts who have both a fitness brand and a personal brand. This is the way that I would have them do it. And it's working out really, really well. Yeah, because you're right. People want to engage with people. Yep. Because here's the thing, guys. And this is kind of harsh, but if we don't learn how to step in front of our business and be present, some little punk ass kid will steal your clients by doing TikTok videos. I guarantee it. I know that sounds harsh, but if we do not learn how to get in front of our business and be the face and be the person and, do videos, some punk ass little kid on TikTok is going to steal our clients. But that's my 2 cents, Patrick. Let's see. Clara says, when split testing ads with one ad per ad set, if the cost per 25% views is the same and the hook and hold rates are meeting the benchmarks, do you go with the ad that has the better hook rate or the better hold rate, and why? If they're both, here's the thing. If they're both getting me results, I'm not turning either one of them off, right? We want as much traffic. Like if ads are hitting KPIs and they're bringing me leads, I do not turn them off. Let's see. Jay Carlos says, it's been a minute since I posted a question or requested some clarity. I'm an online therapeutic trainer helping golfers swing pain-free in 6 sessions or less so they don't have to pop Advil like Skittles by the time they get to the clubhouse. I've been running and testing power offer ads using the video, and most recently using a graphic photo and a snapshot on each ad set with the exact text. I picked an interest targeting. The CTA for each has been add to Messenger. As you can see, engagement is all right and clicks could be better, but it's only 4 days. Knowing the little that I know, I would keep one of the ad sets running with 64 engagements and test against a new one with a different text. Or another course of action is wiser to follow. Would that be fair course of action? Also, is my KPI still a booked call or 100 messenger conversations even with the photo? This depends. I don't have enough context here. But if you're trying, like, you didn't really tell me your overall goal. I would say it sounds like the CTA for each has to been going to add to messenger. So your goal is getting messenger conversations. My question to you is this getting messenger conversations, right? I'm not seeing the messenger. You want to measure how many messenger conversations, and you want to make sure you're optimizing for messenger conversations. If you optimize for messenger conversations, it will show you what the cost is per messenger conversation, right? So you need to make sure you want to make sure that this is optimized for messenger conversations. Cause like I said, I don't see the KPI that is measuring messenger conversations in that. Let's see. Christopher says, would love to hear your general thoughts on what you see happening in the future with building warm audiences. Ooh, this is going to be a good one, Christopher. I already know it. Thoughts on what you see happening in the future with building warm audiences based on website activity that's tracked by the pixel. Do you think they will drop in quality accuracy as users become more concerned with privacy and traffic and tracking? Specifically, I'm thinking of just building my audiences for the power content with Facebook and not care whether or not they've already taken one of my offers and just build my warm audiences with Facebook data. Am I wrong for thinking this? No, you are absolutely not. And that is why inside the program, if you go under power content, and I'm about to release my book, which by the way, if you go into my Instagram, I want to say I actually posted a picture of it. My new book right here, and I have some other stuff like here, like a lot of stuff that I'm posting from my book. My whole book is based on building warm traffic with zero need for the pixel. So it's called, if you guys can see here, Super Duper Profitable Ads. I'm super excited. I've been sharing a lot of the drawings and stuff from my upcoming book. Like, look, if you look at this right here, take a look. No pixel involved. And so I'm super excited. Thank you for asking that, Christopher. Yes, my thoughts are yes. That is why I like to build ecosystems that do not rely on pixel data. I love building ad strategies that are built around what Facebook has built this community to do, right? Facebook wants us to be social. So I create ad strategies around exactly what Facebook wants us to use the platform for, being social. And that's why you'll notice in my program, I focus really heavy on creating content that puts you directly in front of a conversation with your ideal client. But is the pixel still helpful? Abso-freaking-lutely, right? I mean, if I look at my ads, I do open targeting because of the pixel data, right? So I'm not saying by any means that pixel is not important, but for my business moving forward, I am putting my investment in building my warm audience, which, by the way, is different than building a following, okay? Followers don't necessarily equate to buyers, okay? And so that's why I'm more interested in building an audience, because if you go look on my Instagram, guys, my business has hit almost 3 million in sales, and I probably combined have less than 10,000 followers across all socials. So, but my audience is much bigger than 10,000 followers. Does that make sense? I have an audience size of about 40,000 people who actively engage with my content. My followers, well, I would say it's a mix of both, but do not equate followers with an audience. The audience are going to be the people that are engaging with your content, not just following. Man, that was such a great question to end today's Ask Laurel thread on. If you missed the beginning of this video, wait for this video to end and go watch the beginning, because I went over a very important nuance that a lot of you guys are missing. So you guys have a very blessed weekend. I will see you guys on Monday's Zoom.